with, it's a painter, it's even somebody who helps, a caterer. And after teaching them all the skills, well, there are two things. They either leave or before you realize they are, they started a side business similar to yours. And this is a very big challenge. And so what would you advise someone to do in such a situation to be able to retain their employees?
This is a tough one. And how do you retain employees? I mean, let me say it's a very tough one, but let me also share some of the things we do. We try as best as we could, to expose our employees to the business. So it's not a case of you're an employee and you don't know how the business is running. One of the things that I've realized, is when the employees see that, yes, this is where the business is going. These are the wins, these are the losses. Of course, we all want to be associated with wins, okay? It helps in giving them some assurance of the future, okay? I've realized that especially for many of our local business, let me put it in the sense of and what I mean by a local business is you're an entrepreneur, you started your business, unlike the major corporates, okay? But if you take an entrepreneur who started his business, what I've found out is many of them keep a lot from the employees, okay? So you are a member or an employee, but as to how the business is going, the employees has little, yes. You are right, but it's important that your employees know how the business is being run. Yes, you've made profit, you haven't made profit. These are the challenges we are having. Okay, and I think that when employees have, that total picture of how the business is being run, okay, it helps them in making decisions. Okay, it helps them in supporting the business in hard times. It helps them in knowing that, yes, this is the vision for this business. Because if you also don't share the vision of the business with the employees, then it will appear as though
as part of the business.
Yes, it appears that, okay, this is this man's business or this lady's
business.
Absolutely. I'm just there. No matter how long I stay with this business, it will still remain this family's business. I will not have the opportunity, for instance, to be a CEO once, and they will. But if you give them, that openness, and a guy knows that, yes, it's not a question of because these are the shareholders of the business, so they will forever remain the managers of the business. I'm an employee, but I'll have the opportunity to become the manager of the business, or I even have an opportunity to become a shareholder of this business. So that exposure, I think, is important. But having said that, retaining employees is a difficult one. I mean, you can't force employees. And I think, secondly, that we are also in an environment now. I mean, that is what the world has become. In an environment where loyalty is such a loose word. It's not a major thing now. So people really, yes, I'm with you today. Tomorrow I move on to to another business. I really don't care much. Okay. Thirdly, also as a recruiter, you also need to, in your recruitment, to be very critical about this. I mean, I have had oftentimes to tell people we recruit that we are not looking for persons who consider us as a stopgap. So somebody will say that, okay, and oftentimes that comes up, I want to go for further studies. So I'm looking for an employment as I work towards going for further studies. So you know that a year plus, the guy is out going for further studies. And we make it clear that, no, this is not the kind of individual we are looking for. We will give you the training, but we are looking for persons who, yes. And if you feel that this is not your place, please let us know at the recruitment stage, because we will not want, you agree with me that it's expensive,
Yeah.
going through recruitment, recruiting people, training them. So if the person is looking for a short-term employment, then
it's not a place.
It's not, yes. If we have a role which requires a temporary employment, then of course we may consider you. But if it's a job which, yes, we are looking to have a long-term relationship, then you should be ready to to come onto the boat. If you are not ready, then please save us the expense of having to engage you and train you for this role. But it's a difficult one. It's a difficult one, and as employers also, we also need to understand that this is the stage in which we find ourselves. We find ourselves in an environment where, one morning the guy, he may not even come. Yeah, he may not even come. Yes, he may not even come. I mean, I have had one guy who, and those were the early days of our business, who had gone out there to meet clients, and he sent us an SMS that whilst he was out meeting a client, he got an SMS from a job that he's chased all this while that he should come. So sorry, he's not returning, and that was it. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah. So I think that it's up to you as the business owner to put in structures that will help you in such critical moment. Yeah. Before we go on a break, I'd want you to just touch briefly on global pandemics, global crisis that can just shake a business. So we're all here when from nowhere COVID showed up, and so many businesses were shattered. Like they just did not know what to do. But it will surprise people to know that within this period was when other businesses actually made the most money. And so I want you to touch on being a dynamic business person, especially when such situations that are not projected, they just hit you. Well, how are you supposed to act as a business person?
Okay. Now let me give two examples. One is, as a business, you need to recognize that you are not operating in isolation. Yes, you may be serving the Ghana market, but you need to be aware that things happening outside of Ghana are likely to have an impact on your business. And knowing that, yes, things happening outside your market may have an impact on your business, it means that you also need to be nosing round to know what is happening. Yeah. Was it last week? Last week I was reading that the U.S. economy added the biggest number of people to their employment. So unemployment in the U.S. is probably at this lowest minimum, and that has an impact on their currency. Yes, so the dollar will be stronger, and you are in Ghana, and the dollar, yes, will be stronger. What are the consequences? So immediately it puts you need to make some adjustment to your business. So for us, a stronger dollar, I mean, our economic managers have told us that, and in recent times, it's something that they've hammered on, that the cedi is going to get stronger. Okay. But the cedi is going to get stronger in the context of other currencies. So hearing that the dollar is going to get stronger, immediately it makes us, conscious that then the cedi getting stronger might not, follow that trajectory. Yeah. Because, yes, the dollar is going to get stronger. So in that sense, you need to make some adjustment to your business. So that is one context. That, yes, you're operating in Ghana, but things happening around you. I have a friend who is in the poultry industry. Okay. And they've been battered heavily. What has happened, Ivory Coast, what he tells us is, Ivory Coast has banned importation of poultry. Okay, yes. But of course, the importation of poultry meaning that you cannot send, a dressed bird to Ivory Coast, but you can send a live bird to Ivory Coast. So what Ivorians have done is to identify poultry farmers closer to their border. Okay. And basically, they've given them capital that you rear the birds, and bring them. Yeah, once it's a live bird, yes, it can enter Ivory Coast. And the consequence to somebody working, and to my friend, is now egg is in abundance in the country.
Yeah.
Because the guys are rearing, the live bird goes to Ivory Coast, and there's a glut of eggs in Ghana. And if you find yourself in this situation, you can imagine.
Yeah.
Yes. So knowing what is happening in Ivory Coast and factoring that into your business is critical. So you cannot afford to think that my focus is Ghana, so everything I'm going to do is on Ghana. No,
Yeah.
you run into major issues. You constantly have to be scouting, just checking what is happening around you, and what will be the consequence on the business, and how do you fine-tune your business to be able to address these challenges. So that is one. The secondly is the pandemic. I mean, the pandemic was global, so it doesn't matter whether where is it, you are in New Zealand or you are in Afghanistan. Yes, you were hit, and the issue is, okay, how do you manage in that situation? Do you fold your arms and say, yes, we have an issue, so we are not going to work?
Yeah.
You need to find a way around. The last time I was here, I shared the example of what we did in that situation. That we recognized that many businesses were downscaling.
Okay.
And we said, no, we will not take that direction. Okay. If many businesses were going to downscale, we will not do that. We'll rather put in more resources. And the thinking is, we put in more resources to take the others were dropping, and that is exactly what we did. I remember when, because it started in China, and when we resumed, because it was after the Christmas holidays, when we got back to work, the discussion was, okay, there's this virus in China, okay, and China, we all know, is the kitchen for all of us. Okay, so we discussed it, and we're like, okay, if this thing is happening in China, and we get our items, quite a bit of our items coming from China, then obviously we may run into issues. So we needed to look at alternative sources. Yes, okay, and so we started that immediately. Okay, and that helped us, in managing the corona pandemic much better.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So you just gave a practical usage of what most MBA people will talk about, the pestle, when you were talking about the political environment. Okay. I said this is what many people would probably be reading in their textbooks and say, what exactly, or where do I apply it? But that is it. You scout your environment. You're in Ghana, but you have to know all that is going on. All right, so it's been a very interesting discussion here, and I hope our viewers are learning as much as I am here today. We are going to go on a very short break. Remember that we are still live on Facebook and YouTube. We would love to read your comments, and so keep them coming in the comment section. We'll be right back.
Inferior LED lights may tire your eyes over time. Change to Philips. Give comfort to your eyes. Gentle on your eyes, brighter for your home. Philips LED lights. Innovation and you. Philips. Inferior LED lights may tire your eyes over time. Change to Philips LED lights, which give comfort to your eyes. Gentle on your eyes, brighter for your home. Philips LED lights. Innovation and you. Philips.
This is GKV Foods, a community-based zero-waste agro-processing company focused on the coconut value chain. It came about as a result of the health condition of the owner. So I was diagnosed with diabetes, and a friend introduced me to coconut oil as a food supplement to help stabilize my sugars. So after a couple of months taking the oil, I realized that yes, there was a significant change in my sugars, which caused me to look more into the coconut oil as a food supplement. Our product is basically the coconut oil and then coconut powder, coconut shell charcoal. We are looking into other new products, including coconut snacks. Basically, we use the cold press methodology. So at no point do we add heat or any additive for that matter. So it's just pure coconut oil squeezed out of the coconut meat. We currently can do about 25,000 nuts a day. So 30,000 liters of coconut oil in a month. This is GKV Foods, a community-based zero-waste agro-processing company focused on the coconut value chain. It came about as a result of the health condition of the owner. So I was diagnosed with diabetes, and a friend introduced me to coconut oil as a food supplement to help stabilize my sugars. So after a couple of months taking the oil, I realized that yes, there was a significant change in my sugars, which caused me to look more into the coconut oil as a food supplement. Our product is basically the coconut oil and then coconut powder, coconut shell charcoal. We are looking into other new products, including coconut snacks. Basically, we use the cold press methodology. So at no point do we add heat or any additive for that matter. So it's just pure coconut oil squeezed out of the coconut meat. We currently can do about 25,000 nuts a day. So 30,000 liters of coconut oil in a month.
Tertiary education has become imperative in this new time and age. The rapid need for tertiary education has brought about numerous tertiary schools. The one thing remains true and sure, and is the fact that everyone in pursuit for tertiary education is looking for thunders and maximum output. We have a serene atmosphere and qualified lecturers, modern state-of-the-art facilities to enhance learning. NASFA University is located at East Legon, behind Mensvik Hotel. We are affiliated to the University of Ghana and the University for Development Studies. We offer BSc Business Administration with specialization in accounting, finance, human resource management, and marketing. BSc Nursing, BSc Media and Communication, BSc Economics, BSc Computer Science, and BSc Information Technology. Our MBA programs are MBA Accounting, MBA Finance, MBA Human Resource Management, and MBA Marketing. NASFA University, the Royal University of Africa.
With the growing challenges of life in light of both global and domestic development, the Christian is faced with the difficult task of balancing survival within a secular system and at the same time living a Christian life that pleases their Maker. It is for this reason that we need to have frank conversations on the many issues of life through the Christian lens. So, we bring to you Let's Talk About. On Let's Talk About, we talk about health, career, dating, marriage, family, divorce, politics, finance, and all the issues of life that the Christian is confronted with on a daily basis. Join us this and every Wednesday on the YouTube and Facebook pages of Trinity United Church Legon, and let's talk about life as Christians.
Welcome back. And before we went on a break, we were talking about how to sustain a business in difficult times. As usual, would love to hear from you, and so go ahead and send in your comments, your suggestions through our Facebook page and our YouTube page. So, Mr. Darko, We have spoken at length about some of the difficulties that may hit businesses. I want us to get very practical now. So tell us, has there been any business that you have tried and there were so many difficulties that you just had to give up? I want our listeners to know that there are difficulties in business, but probably there are some difficulties that are a sign of, you know what, just leave me and go on to the next. So have you ever experienced such moments, and what kind of business was it, and what kind of difficulties made you just throw in the towel?
I mean, difficulties in business are, is the nature of business. You know, if you go into business and your thinking is you will not run into any difficulty, then I advise you not to venture as part of the game. And I'm not singling business out. I think in every venture, there will be ups and downs, and you should be ready, you know, to manage the situation. I've had many challenges. What readily comes to mind, and this was early days of my my adventure into entrepreneurship. Okay, and this was just after my national service. I partnered a friend of mine, and we started into landscaping. Okay. So we started landscaping. We added block making. We were into supplies of sand, gravels. Okay, and I did that for maybe 9 months. Okay. And got a job. You know, so I became an employee, and I thought that, I could combine both. So yes, I could take up this job and still run this landscaping business, landscaping block, and and I had a set of friends who were also ready to help. So we all came together, and I said, okay, you guys would do the day-to-day. I would go into formal employment, and Saturdays I'll be back, and we'll see how things will go. You know, we did that and I had one experience which I'll never forget. This experience. So I was at work. I was at my where I am, or I was an employee, and in those days, which I think is still the case anyway. So somebody who wants to reach you would, of course, call the switchboard, and the call will be transferred to your office. You know, so here I am in the office. My phone rings. I pick the receiver, and a female voice is on the line. Oh, the plans you guys came to plant for us are all dead. And I'm wondering,
plans are dead.
I was just wondering that, but where I am now, I don't do plans. So who has called this office? But it was really, and I was just wondering that, but how did this client even get to know that I work at this business, and she's following me with this? So I remember when I closed from work that evening, I rushed to the client side just to go and check on what has happened. And indeed, the plans were all dead. What has happened? So we had done this nice, plans for the client, and they had some pets. So we went to spray, yes. And unfortunately, the concentration wasn't right. So we killed
all the plants.
Yeah, we killed everything. And it was one issue after the other. So today is that, tomorrow, you know, so I just realized that there's no way I can continue. I mean, I cannot continue being an employee here and an employer at the other end. You know, so yes, we had to call it quits. Sold everything that we had put together. You know, but reflecting on that experience, I think that it was also because I had an option. Assuming I didn't have an option, assuming that was all that I had, we would have found a way around it. And so the point I'm making is, yes, there will be issues. At some point, you need to say that, no, this thing will not work, and then move on and do something else. But at some other point, you need to stay and make it work. Yes. So that links me to the second challenge. And this second challenge was when I had just started Philips.
Okay.
And we had a big contract, and at that time it was a very big contract, So we shipped 1 million plus pieces of an item to a client. And apparently all the items were wrong. And this is 1 million plus. Okay. So the client receives the items and calls that, what have you shipped? I'm like, but this is what you gave us. I said, no. Is that what we supplied? I went to the factory. Is that what you guys supplied? Yes. And the item has been, the client has received the item. What do you do?
Wow.
Yes. What do you do in that situation? And it was a lot of sleepless nights because we didn't have an option. The client hasn't paid. He's received this number. It's a wrong item.
So what did you do?
That's a good question.
How did you get rid of the item?
It was
and how did you satisfy your client at the end of the day?
At the end of the day, the client didn't take the items. So it was a case of now finding other people and selling in small bits over a longer period. So
money.
Yes, but it's a challenge. We didn't have an option. We had to solve the problem.
Yeah.
So you need to dig deep and find ways. Like I'm saying, sleepless nights. I remember at one point I had met a potential buyer.
Okay.
And I'd had a series of meetings with this potential buyer. One meeting dragged into midnight. I've gone to bed, and the guy calls after midnight. I'm like, but I thought we had, concluded this discussion, but no, apparently we had not concluded. But we had to stay on, and like I said, bits and pieces. We managed to sell the item. But if we had given up then, I will not be talking about our business today, because we didn't give up. We didn't have the option. We had to dig deep and find a way around it. Yes, we managed, and here we find ourselves.
That's good. That's a good life and real story to hear. So in Ghana, many people run away from the idea of partnerships because they say you can't trust people, people are greedy, people are not loyal, they will learn the trade secret and run away with it and all that. But as a business person, do you think that the use of partnership in some way reduces the kind of difficulties or risk that you may face as a business? So you're going through some difficult time in business, and falling on a partner would probably help you to cushion you better than without a partner. Have you experienced such a situation?
It helps. Like we know, two heads are better than one. And of course, if you have a lot of heads, then yes, the conversation is richer.
Yeah.
The plan is also better, for you to make it happen. So having partnerships, I think is valuable. But having said that, we also need to be mindful that it just doesn't happen. So it's not a case of I'm starting a new business, I need a partner, so who can become my partner? We need to understand that you've lived a life. You've people know you as who this person is, okay? And all that comes into somebody agreeing to go into a partnership with you or otherwise. So typically if you are looking for a partner, you look at your network, okay? Even if you don't look at your network and somebody outside your network, that individual would also likely find out about you. Okay, this individual, who is he, or how is he like, and stuff like that. So the advice is we need to understand that how we live our lives is critical, is very important. And that would also feed into who becomes your partner or otherwise. If your life is crooked, you are likely to also have a crooked partner to
Yeah.
come in, and in that business, everybody is watching the other. This guy, what he's saying is not what it is. He will pull a fast one. But if people can vouch that no, I can trust this individual with my funds. I can trust this individual going into partnership with what he or she says is what it is. Chances of you attracting a partner is high, and chances of you also attracting the right partner is also high. Risks is shared, because at the end of the day, it's not like you carrying the entire load. Yes,
Yeah.
It's shared, and it helps.
Yeah.
I mean, from my experience, partnerships helps. But again, the caution here is dependent on you.
Exactly.
Okay, it starts with you. If people can vouch for you, if people can trust you, you are most likely, to have your kind, and nobody will be watching his or her back. If you tell your partner that, okay, this is how things are going, yes, the person believes. It doesn't become another burden. Can you imagine you are in partnership and you are carrying not just the business challenges, but you are also carrying additional challenges of not being trustworthy. Your partner trying to, as it were, gauge you and then check what is it that you are doing. I mean, that would be a tough one for you to manage. Yes.
So character is very important in partnership. And just to mention that, so we have people who are going through financial difficulties, and basically maybe what they need is somebody to be supplying them product on maybe on credit. And then here you are, nobody can vouch for you because they know you pick up items, you are not accountable for it, and then you are suffering, but you can't get a partner because of your character.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so let's talking about financial crisis or difficulties. Let's talk about practical ways that a business can cut down cost without affecting the quality, the service quality. This is because we have people that, so for example, they start a business and they rented one shop. Now we have online business and all that. And they have 5 employees. Things are getting bad. They looked into the accounts and realized that the numbers were not, speaking the language that they want them to speak. How can such a business cut down costs without affecting the quality of products that it delivers?
The product quality, and that is if you are in the business of offering products, is key.
Yeah.
Okay. If you are in service, also your service quality is absolutely important. Okay. And I think that I'm not the first person to say this. That if you think the person you are serving is a moron, ask your spouse. Your spouse is not a moron, and your spouse is what is it? Is a person. He or she is buying a service, okay. And if your spouse is not a moron, then you can't shortchange your client, okay. So don't venture. I mean, it's not something that you should consider that, okay, because I'm in difficulty, I want to offer a short standard item. Okay, you'll kill the business.
Okay.
So. My advice is a no.
If you affect the quality.
It's a no.
Okay.
I mean, that is not a consideration. What you are known for, you must remain true to what you are known for. But, I mean, here you are, the finances are not great. So what do you do in that environment where your finances are not great? A couple of things that you need to consider. I mean, the pandemic, for instance, I believe that a number of us heard about the furlough in the UK, where and I would imagine in other advanced economies where salaries were renegotiated.
Yeah.
Yes, I was probably earning 1,000 Ghana cedis, but in this difficulty, can we, take a second look at the salaries? You see, and it also feeds back into the earlier point I made that you are running a business. and everything is on your chest. Your employees don't know what is happening. If tomorrow you come and say, oh, we are in hard times, but when we were in good times, we didn't know. Now you are saying we are in hard times. How can we trust you? You know. But if the employees know what is happening, okay, and we know that yes, we are in difficulty, then you can begin to have such conversations. I'm not saying that it will be an easy one, but yes, those are conversations you can have. You can have conversations on, I mean, energy, for instance, is expensive now. So what can we do about our energy situation? Assuming that every month you are paying, even let's say you are paying 1,000 cedis on energy, yes, it could be substantial.
Yeah.
So what can we do about this situation? Can we, maybe we are blasting the AC 8 hours in a day? You know, can that be looked at?
Yeah.
Yes, and those are things you can look at. Are you having some frills? I mean, not unnecessary. Some frills at the workplace that yes, we need to. For instance, Christmas is coming. Do we still have to give Christmas hampers because that is a tradition?
Yeah.
No,
Most companies this year are cutting it.
Absolutely. So those are things that you can look at. That no, can we begin to, as it were, multitask? You have a staff who probably is what is it? An in-house staff.
Okay.
But because you are going through difficulty, you want to increase your turnover.
Okay.
You know, so yes, we need to combine some in-house with some persons also going out there to increase the turnover. These are all options that you need to consider. Business is hard, like any other thing, you know, and we need to be practical about it.
Okay.
That is, these are the challenges we are having. If we don't do anything about it, we are going under. And is that the option we want to go?
No.
If we don't want to go under, then what is it that we need to do to ensure that yes, the business is sustained? So whatever that we can cut, please, we need to go out there and cut. It should even start from the leadership, because if the leadership is seen as making sacrifices, then yes, yes. But if you want to get the persons down the line to make sacrifices, but you want to maintain your lifestyle, then of course people would fight back. You know, so it starts from the top. You make sacrifices. Probably you were not doing deliveries, but if your employees see that the leader is now doing deliveries, everybody would sit up and just join to make things happen.
Okay. So all too soon we are coming to the end of our discussion today, but I want you to give us your very final words or advice to a young entrepreneur out there watching you on how practically, 3 practical ways, briefly, on how to sustain their business should they be hit by any form of difficulty.
I mean, first and foremost, I think that if we look at that we have options, it makes sense to drop the ball too quickly. You know? So we need to recognize that, yes, this is what I want to do, rain or shine, I want to do it. Okay, and whatever we also want to do, we would have thought through it carefully. Okay. You know, because oftentimes we have an idea, we haven't given it that much thought. It's just, you know, an idea, and we quickly want to take it to market. If you have an idea, give it a lot of thought. Okay, it may require even making an investment to refine the idea. It's important that you do that. And lastly, which of course, even though it's lastly, is top. Is God is our Father. He is the one that we go to in whatever we do. So whatever is on our hearts, you know, we need to seek God's face on it. Go to Him, and He will make it work. You know, so these 3, I think, are really critical in succeeding in business.
It's been a very interesting evening discussing some of the ways to mitigate the difficulties that may happen in your business. And we're very fortunate to have Mr. Darko here, who has shed light on practical experiences as a business person. I hope you learned a thing or two. My name is Edinam Ejesika. I have been your host for today. See you same time next week. Good evening.